Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. This video accompanies the learning module on Marxism. After the videos you've watched and some of what you've read by now, you probably have developed a sense of what Marxism is, the principles of Marxism, and with some of the videos that accompany the learning module, particularly labor in 19th, early 20th centuries and a lack of legal protection for workers, one can get a sense of why Marxism may have seemed appealing to many people. One can also get a sense of the social, economic conditions that led to it being just being created at all. The lack of protection, lack of rights for workers. One of the questions, though, that many historians have struggled with is why Marxism never really took off in the United States. It did fairly well in Eastern Europe, other parts of the world. But in the United States, even though there were periods what people call the Red Scares, etc., our way of life, our economy, our government was really never a serious threat internally. But why was that? Why was it so different from Europe? Historians have struggled with this. One of the main reasons, and there are many, but one of the main reasons historians at least somewhat agree on, is that the economic and social structure in the United States during the 19th century, early 20th century, even though it was certainly grossly unfair in terms of working conditions, economic conditions, there was still the opportunity for people to move upward, socially, economically. Far more opportunities than there were in Europe, even Western European countries, Germany, France, Great Britain. And that this opportunity for upward mobility, limited though it was, imperfect though it was enough to offset the rise or popularity of Marxism in the United States. Second thing I wanted to emphasize, Marxism is very important to understand. It's an educational philosophy, it's an economic philosophy, it's a political philosophy. But it also it explains a lot of factors, a lot of things in life. There are really very few, hardly any, pure classical Marxists in the world. There have been experiments. The problem with Marxism is that it is a great recipe for a revolution. However, it really doesn't tell what to do after the revolution. Problem with that is many countries where they have tried Marxist revolutions, Russia, China, North Korea, Cuba, what happens is after the chaos, there's a power vacuum. After the revolution, there's a power vacuum. And inevitably somebody steps in to occupy that vacuum. And instead of it being the workers' paradise, the idea of communal ownership, communal decision-making, it really becomes a dictatorship. Unfortunately, that reveals something about the dark side of human nature. But that's been the case in every Marxist experiment in the world. Soviet Union, China, still is guided by a lot of Marxist ideology, although it's incorporated quite a bit of capitalist principles as well. But it is, in every sense, a totalitarian regime, a dictatorship. Vietnam, North Korea, probably one of the worst examples, North Korea. Cuba, certainly. In case after case, after the revolution, a power figure steps in and takes total power. And that is one of the problems with Marxism. Third thing to keep in mind with Marxism, I don't know why I always seem to do these videos when the clock chimes. Other things to keep in mind is that there really are no classical Marxists in the world in terms of the way Marx defines it. Marxism has evolved and branched off into a variety of different philosophical perspectives. Feminism has its roots in classical Marxism. Critical theory, conflict theory. All of these have one thing in common. They define social structure in terms of who controls power, whether it's gender relations, whether it's the curriculum, whether it's the economy, whatever the case may be. It all focuses around who controls a certain aspect of power considered important in society. So if you want to understand conflict theory, if you want to understand feminism, if you want to understand many of the historical descendants that are still very much alive and well, you really have to start with Marxism, because that really is the origin, that is the historical antecedent for all these different philosophical perspectives. That's why that is all so important and continues to be so important. At any rate, hope everything is going well. If you have any questions about your papers you're working on, please let me know. I never get to talk to people often enough. Always glad to help. You know where to find me, and I will be in touch, everyone. Bye for now.